Hi, and welcome to Onstage at A.C.T. Today, we are sitting down to talk to the director of the upcoming production of Agnes of God, Dennis O'Donovan. Thank you for sitting down and taking some very serious time out of your schedule. I know it's very, 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 very busy.
Thank you, Stuart.
Yeah. Okay, so, Agnes. Why bring Agnes of God to the stage?
A couple of reasons. Number one, Agnes of God as a play, it fits perfectly with the overall theme of this theater, which is to bring high-quality, off-Broadway style theater to the area. And it's a serious play, it's got serious themes, and we love that. The other reason is that we're becoming really sort of a repertory company. And when the founder of the theater met Shauna quite a while back, he said, Agnes of God. And that has now come to fruition.
Was there any trepidation about the religious aspects of the show? Maybe kind of keeping, ooh, I don't want to touch that, kind of.
Well, at A.C.T. we're really trying to be as fearless as possible. So we don't mind controversy, we don't mind things that will make you think, things that may be a little bit troubling, because ultimately it's done beautifully and with respect.
Well, I know you just got finished with your Christmas show, A Tune of Christmas, which you also directed, and so that was in late rehearsal and production while you were starting this one.
Yes, yes, these two ran just about side by side.
Other than the scheduling difficulties, what was it? How was it challenging to shift gears to go from quote unquote a lowbrow comedy to and that kind of show to doing Agnes?
Well, the way they overlapped, Tuna was getting serious as it got close to release, and so rehearsing that was very, very different. Of course, they're two very, very different shows, and Agnes was still in the early stages, so it's not as if we were deep into both of them.
Uh-huh.
We were kind of shallow into Agnes, and then as Tuna got close to opening, Agnes started to pick up in intensity in rehearsal. So they were both sort of palate cleansers for one another.
So you in a very broad sense, you're sending one off to college while one's coming into high school. You're
Exactly right. Exactly right.
One's getting done and working very on its own.
And it's a big family.
It's a big family. As a director, it's very important to guide and inspire your actors. What are you doing to inspire your actors to give the best possible performance?
Well, a couple of things. We did some research. I did some research, and the cast each did their own research into the nature of their characters. The doctor about being a psychiatrist, the nuns about convent life.
Uh-huh.
And there were a lot of interesting things that were uncovered in that process. A lot of things that the actors weren't necessarily aware of prior to this. And that has infused their performance. And then additionally, I sat with each of them and actually had a meeting to discuss their character and where they come from. And it began with my questioning them, tell me about your beliefs about this and that.
Uh-huh.
What's your experience with religion in your life and all of that? What's your attitude towards faith? What's your attitude towards science? And that really gave each actor the foundation for their character, and that has played out through the whole process.
Now, this particular show, not that AC hasn't picked award-winning plays in the past, but this particular show has quite the pedigree. It nominated for multiple Tony Awards, a couple of Oscars. So, was it intimidating to know that there's that kind of history behind the show? Was it daunting?
Not at all. Quite the contrary. It was inspiring. And because the writing was so good, it really made the directing job easier, because there was a lot in the text that guided me through the process. And of course, there were things that unfolded that I didn't see initially that I saw later on. And so it has a complexity, it has a depth, it has a richness that lends itself to more and more ideas. And all of that came into play during the rehearsal process, and we were all discovering, and we were all recalibrating as we went along. So the quality of the writing really made the job easier, not harder.
So the quality of the writing is what got it its Tonys, what got it its nominations, all that stuff. So it really didn't matter. A lot of people don't realize, or hopefully they will after this interview, that you're also the tech director for this facility. You do lighting design, you do sound design, you operate the light board. What were the technical challenges for the show so far? I mean, I know your set's not done yet.
Part of the challenge was there was a show in progress, and so we couldn't set up the stage. And a lot of things that we used for the previous show had to be repainted and rearranged and et cetera. The challenge really was to do something different, to not have a set surrounded by walls and doorways and things like that. And so the set takes place in more of a dreamlike space, that as written. The script is very specific about, this is no particular setting. It's as if it's all a dream. People drift in and out. So we were able to create an atmosphere, create an environment that conveyed the themes of the play without being too literal about what things look like. I happen to be a big fan and aficionado of medieval religious art, and so we use stained glass. We use religious images in the course of the play, but in a very minimalist way. And it was a very nice challenge to be able to do that. This is one of the first ones that I've done with a minimalist type of set, and I think it will be very rich.
Now, did you design the set, or did you work with your set designer?
The set designer, Dante Morelli, gave me the basic idea of how the stage should be laid out. It has some things in common with some of the Broadway, off-Broadway stagings, and then we put some sort of our own spin on that. And then Michael Watt, who helped me build the set, or helped me construct the layout of the set, came up with some very innovative ways about how to approach the stained glass on the set. And so I think the production is immeasurably enriched by the way that's been done.
So this has been a collaborative process.
Absolutely.
It wasn't like you said, "Hey, Mr. Set Designer, this is what I want," and you had to approve and reapprove and tweak this and that. So you all worked together to get this dream-like vision on stage,
Yes,
which
we did.
we don't see quite yet. I won't pan around to see it because it's not ready. But
Well, we wouldn't want to spoil the
no, we wouldn't want to spoil the surprise anyways. Since taking over A.C.T. Last summer, you've pretty much sunk to the background in your performance style because you're not on stage any longer. Do you miss being on stage as an actor, or is this where you want to be for the moment?
Well, I'd be lying if I said I didn't miss it. I do. And I occasionally will watch an actor perform a part that I wouldn't mind playing myself. And I always have fun thinking, how would I do that? But I enjoy what the actors bring. And I find directing so fulfilling, so delightful, that I can afford to sit back for a while in the acting.
Do you feel like the bug is going to hit you at some point and like, oh, this is a project I really want to do?
Oh, absolutely.
And being the boss, you can just insert yourself wherever you'd like, so.
And being the boss, sometimes I have to take a back seat. I was supposed to appear in Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf. And recognizing all the other things I had to juggle, I decided it'd be best if I didn't perform in that. And happily, we found a really, really good actor, a newcomer, to replace me. And so it's a win-win.
Not that isn't a win-win, but is it that kind of that moment you go, oh, I wish I...
Actually, no.
Okay.
I like him better in the part than I like myself.
Then that's even a better bonus. So you've just finished directing like 3 shows.
Mm-hmm. 3 out of 4. Yep.
3 out of 4. What's next for Dennis?
Well, I get another 1-show break. The next show...
Like a full month or like a couple of weeks?
About a month, yeah. Virginia Woolf, I have virtually no involvement in. I'll do the lighting and sound, but somebody else will probably operate them, so I'll just design them, so that's very light. But there's tons to do. We're planning a new season. We're holding more auditions to grow the size of the repertory company.
Auditions are January 31st if anyone is interested.
Yes, please do come. And we have a new season to plan. And we're hoping to have 9 or 10 shows in that season. So there's a lot of script reading, a lot of discussion with directors. We have an excellent crop of directors joining us for the next season, and I'm really looking forward to that. And I may only direct 1 or 2 shows, and so I'll get to start to work on growing our audience, getting the word out about A.C.T., and getting more people to come.
It sounds like even if you don't direct, you've got your plate full as it is. So as we wrap up, is there anything else you would like to say before we're finished?
I really do feel that the fearless aspect of our mission is something that the area really needs. There's a lot of crowd-pleasing shows that you can go and see, but if you come to A.C.T., without exception, these are shows that will make you think, and you'll take them home and chew on them for a while. And this particular show, Agnes, I experience in my dreams almost every night, just rolling it all through and different perspectives. And to me, that's a very rewarding experience. It's a gift that keeps on giving. So that's how we view coming to an ACT show.
Well, I encourage everyone to come and see Agnes of God, directed by Dennis O'Donovan. It will be playing here at A.C.T. Studio Theater exclusively starting January 8th and running through the 23rd. Dennis, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Be there.